Hey, welcome to the Mortgage Minute. There's been an absolute ton of things going on in the Canadian real estate market. Specifically, we're targeting Vancouver and Toronto because of the record high prices, etc., etc. We saw the vacant home, the 15% foreign buyer's tax implemented in Vancouver, followed by the vacant home tax. I mean, really, what we have here is politicians trying to react, given this sense of doing something here. It's not so much a solution as it is throwing something against the wall and throwing it out there and giving the appearance or the optics they're doing something about what's perceived as a major issue or major problem. My suggestion, what I would say to politicians is be careful what you ask for, because there are unintended consequences to your actions. And I think it's going to be very interesting to follow this, and not only in Vancouver, but whether Ontario government is following this very closely to see whether they will implement similar policies back east. And that will all play out depending on what the political landscape does here in Vancouver and British Columbia. In the meantime, this is an interesting headline. Household debt surges to new record amongst low rates. Well, here we are. Ottawa is pushing and promoting and worrying Canadians about taking on too much home debt. Of course, the big push behind this is record low interest rates. When you have record low interest rates, it's easier for Canadians to take money out of their houses. Ottawa's concerned that we're going to use our homes as ATM machines. The important thing to realize here, though, amongst the concern about household debt, there's an equal record amount of household equity out there. So what I'm curious to follow and watch in the upcoming months and years ahead is how the baby boomers and seniors play out with in some cases there's going to be inheritance, in some cases there's going to be downsizing. Either way, there's going to be a record amount of home equity trickling down to the millennials, and it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts the markets. In the meantime, I want you to be very careful about watching headlines. Here's one that said, Fed's likely to hold interest rates. So the suggestion is that interest rates are going to be going up, and you're going to hear that in the market. It's going to be confusing because that's the United States. That the Fed is the U.S. central bank. The Bank of Canada is not looking at raising rates. In fact, if you follow what the Stephen Pulitz and the Bank of Canada is saying, they're closer to Mark Carney in England. Mark Carney in England, the Bank of Canada governor there, the former Bank of Canada governor, current Bank of England governor, has actually suggested they may even go the route of negative interest rates. So what the heck are negative interest rates? Well, we don't have time to get into that. But suffice to say, if central banks are even talking or hinting about negative interest rates, they're not raising interest rates. So we're looking at a prolonged period in Canada for low or steady interest rates, even though you may see headlines talking about raising rates in the States. So what does this all mean to you? Now, if you're an investor, what should you be looking at? I was talking to a lot of people in the past few weeks about buying real estate, and they're asking me, well, where should I buy? Alberta seems like, with the oil crisis, we don't know whether they've hit rock bottom. Is it a good time to buy in Alberta? Should I buy in Vancouver? Should I buy in BC because, we got a bubble bursting here? What about Ontario? Markets like Windsor, is that too dependent on the auto industry? Or Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, the tech sector? So, I've been doing the webinar series about different companies and interviewing different individuals to promote or to learn, about various investment opportunities. Well, this week we've decided we're going to bring in Canada's #1 real estate investment guru. I know Don doesn't like me calling him a guru, but Don Campbell is going to be our guest this week for the webinar series, and we're going to talk all things real estate. We're going to talk about the Alberta, how the oil's impacting Alberta real estate, the potential bubble bursting in Vancouver, and what to look for and what not to look for in Ontario markets. We're going to talk all things real estate. So if you're interested in real estate, either as an investor or just curious in general, tune in to our webinar series. Look below in this email. You're going to get the details, the link, the invitation. I'm very excited. My good friend, Don Campbell, is going to be our guest, and we're going to just, have a wide open, free conversation. It'll be like you sitting in on Don and I having a cup of coffee at Starbucks, just shooting the breeze on all things real estate. So send some emails if you have any questions, anything you want to learn about or know about, or a question you'd like me to ask Don. Let me know, send me an email, and tune in. It's going to be great. It'll be Thursday night live at 6, and we will be recording it, but live at 6, tune in. And folks, that's the Mortgage Minute for this week. Thanks.